Hello, hello, my friends. It is time for my July candle chat. This is the only one that I am doing for this month. I was gone earlier in the month, and as you can tell from the content that I've had on my channel over the last week, I have been in the throes of trying to review a lot of new fall and Halloween collection candles. And so today I thought that I would take a little bit of a break from all of those candles and share with you some other candles that I have been burning, kind of sprinkling in here and there, give you guys some initial post-burn thoughts. And yeah, so I've got quite a few caramel sundaes here. I've got a Snif candle to give you guys an update on. I've got a HOMEWORX candle, and then just a couple of Kringle candles. I did want to let you guys know up front in this video that all of the new fall Kringle candles as well as the Halloween candles I'm not going to be talking about in this video, just because I did just post a bunch of post-burn reviews this last week, and I will also be having a bunch of post-burn reviews coming up this week. So in the best interest of time, I just figured I didn't want to be too repetitive. So if you're looking for my thoughts on specific Halloween or fall launch candles, I'm going to direct you to those videos. So let's go ahead. Feel free to grab a drink, grab a snack, settle in. If you like this video, please make sure you hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing to my channel if you are new. But let's go ahead and talk about some of these fragrances. Why don't we go ahead and talk about a caramel sundaes candle that I showed you guys last week in the haul. I have actually been burning this week. I lit up for the first time the fragrance Autumn Jam. Now I remembered to actually bring my little sheet here that has the fragrance notes. So Autumn Jam has top notes of apple and citrus, mid notes of cranberry and spice, and a base note of wood and dried clove. Now I have to tell you, I only burned this candle once this week, but I will tell you, I loved pairing this with the new pumpkin head candle from Kringle in their Halloween collection. This is so good. This is like kind of like a sweet spiced cranberry type of fragrance, but I do get a little bit of that apple in the top. Maybe a little bit of citrus in there, but like it's not like a really like definable citrus note in here. I get apple, I get cranberry, I get spice, but there's a little bit of like a woody element at the bottom of this that it doesn't give. It gives it more of like that like fresh, I don't even want to say like fresh, but it gives you a little bit more of like a slightly outdoorsy vibe. Kind of in the way that like, say like Bath & Body Works Autumn or Leaves kind of gives you that outdoor, crisp outdoor vibe. That's what I get in this as well. But I really, really like this. Strength and throw on the first burn was pretty good. You guys know that I don't always really give a good judgment on caramel sundaes or really any soy wax candle, a good judgment on first burn, because I do find that a lot of soy wax candles take about 3 burns to get into like their full element. But this one was actually pretty good on the first burn. I would give it about a 7. So really enjoyed this fragrance. I don't believe that this is coming back in the August 10th restock. However, I have heard that this bears some similarities to their Hocus Pocus candle. I think that one's got a little bit more of like a little bit of like a spooky woods vibe mixed with the cranberry spice. But Autumn Jam, really glad that I took Sierra's recommendation and picked that up. Another caramel sundaes candle that I have been burning this week was the one that was my #1 priority. This is the fragrance Toasted Pumpkin Crunch. Now, my friend Drew, this was his favorite candle from his haul that he did with caramel sundaes. So Toasted Pumpkin Crunch has fragrance notes of top notes of clove, cinnamon, nutmeg, mid notes of pumpkin, sugar, and buttercream, and a base note of smoke and vanilla. And I'm going to tell you guys, this is a very like spicy pumpkin fragrance. It's like very, very spicy. Those spice notes that are listed on the top are like that. I actually noticed some similarities in the spices in this candle with another candle from Caramel Sundaes that I'll talk about in just a moment. But the spices are very, very similar. Although I will say that this one, there is a note that they say in the base note of smoke and vanilla. And I said that the smoky note in here, it's not like wildfire smoky. It's it's hard for me to describe. It's almost like a comforting smoky type of fragrance, not necessarily like a hearth or even like a resinous Palo Santo type of smoky. But I really, really love this one. I will make sure that I do a dedicated post-burn review. I did mention in some of the reviews that I was doing this week for Kringle, and I think I even did like a little post here under my community tab, that Last week and this coming up week are going to be very, very heavy on Kringle candle reviews just because of the Halloween launch that's happening on Friday morning. But the following week after that is going to be pretty heavy on Caramel Sundays reviews because the August restock is happening on the 10th. So I want to make sure that you guys have some timely post-burn reviews prior to that restock. But I did see that this fragrance, while it's not coming back in the 4-wick, it is going to be available in the 2-wick for the August 10th restock. So I will make sure that I give some post-burn thoughts. But I will tell you guys, in this 4-wick format, I've only burned it twice now. But even this one, it's performing very, very well. I do find that Caramel Sundays, I'm finding that I think a lot of their fall fragrances that have that heavy like spice accord in it, they perform very, very well in my home. This one for me, first 2 burns has been a solid 8, 8.5 on strength and throw. So stay tuned. I will give you guys more thoughts on that one. But while I mentioned it here, the other candle that I have been burning, and this one, it's kind of funny. This is like vice versa. So the Toasted Pumpkin Crunch is coming back in this 2-wick format. This fragrance is actually not returning in the 2-wick format for the August restock. It's coming back in the 4-wick format, and it is the fragrance Coffin Cake. Now, Coffin Cake has fragrance notes, top notes, pumpkin spice, brown sugar, frosting, mid notes of cinnamon and clove, base notes of butter, cream, vanilla, and nutmeg. And I will tell you guys, this fragrance has some similarities to their carrot cake fragrance that they had in the spring, although I actually think I like this one better. This is a phenomenal spice cake fragrance. I will tell you that I think this is my #1 spice cake fragrance. It's even dethroned the Kringle Candle Carrot Cake, the initial carrot cake, I should say. This fragrance kind of actually reminds me of the Country Candle Carrot Cake that came out in, what was that, spring of 2024. You guys know that this year I feel like they reformulated and they added a little bit more vanilla in there, and I didn't love it as much. It almost kind of had this like weird, I guess the word would be like almost like a yeasty quality to it. But I'm going to say this is so good. Good, authentic spice cake. There's no pumpkin note or no slightly like smoky note. This is a different fragrance than the Toasted Pumpkin Crunch, but I will say that the spiciness of it is very on par within the 2 fragrances. Oh, this one is so good. I have been loving this one. As much as I want to say, like, I'm trying to rein in because I have a lot of new fall Halloween candles in my collection, and I'm like, am I going to get through all of them? I will. I have to tell you, I love this fragrance so much that I could definitely see myself wanting to get the 4-wick when it is restocked on August 10th, because this is a great, great fragrance. I am really, really loving it. It's so good. Now, here's the thing that I like about this one. It is a good, solid performer for me in this 2-wick. Like I said, it's a spicy fragrance. This one I've been burning it in a hurricane out here in the open concept. I haven't tried it yet without the hurricane, but out here in a hurricane, it's almost a 9 in terms of strength and throw. It's very, very potent, but it's not, it's pleasant still. I guess that's the best way that I could describe it. It's not so strong that it's like headache inducing, nor is it really offensive. But I will say that this is a very spicy fragrance. So if you're somebody who doesn't like spicy fragrances, you won't like that. I get cinnamon, I get that nutmeg, I get vanilla, I get even like that, like it's like a cake accord in here. So yummy. So yeah, high recommendation on this one. And this also pairs really nicely. I know one of you mentioned in my haul video to pair this with like one of their apple fragrances. That was a phenomenal suggestion. I've actually been pairing it with the apple rum cake from Kringle. That's been a really nice combination, but this also pairs really nicely with some of their other pumpkin fragrances. Let's take a break real quick from Caramel Sundays, and let's talk about a HOMEWORX candle that I am trying to finish up. In fact, I hope to have this one in my empties by next week. This is the fragrance Peach Upside Down Cake from HOMEWORX. We have fragrance notes of ripe peach, brown sugar crumble, sweet orange, and baked crust. Now, I did a review on this a little bit earlier, maybe like about 2 months ago now. You can see I've got just a little bit of wax left to burn on this one. This candle, I did actually end up purchasing a backup of this candle, and I'm going to go ahead and just leave it in my closet. That's the plan right now. I think I'm going to leave it in my closet through next year because this is a really nice fragrance for this time of year, especially if you're someone who is still wanting more summer leaning fragrances. You're not wanting fall yet. This is nice because the peach in here, it's still very much like a summertime peach, but the brown sugar elements, that kind of like caramelized note that you're picking up in here, it's kind of like opening up the door to fall. It's a little bit more warm and comforting, but you still have the sweetness of like a summer peach in here. Now, I will say strength and throw, unfortunately, on this one is still probably about like, it's anywhere between like a 6.5 for me. So I do tend to like to burn this one in my closed concept bedroom to get better performance out of it. So that's why I did purchase another one of these, and I'm going to let it sit in my closet for a year because I do find that HOMEWORX candles, they cure the longer that they sit. So I'm hoping that by the time I bring it out next year, it would be ready to go. But this is actually a really nice year-round fragrance. I could see this one carrying you into fall, even if you wanted to break it out like at some point in the winter after the holidays. I think that this is a really nice fragrance. I'm not sure if that's still available on the HOMEWORX website. It probably is. If it is, I think it would be on clearance. But yeah, really nice fragrance. Why don't I take a break real quickly and share with you guys what I am currently burning in my house. I always kind of forget to do that. So over here to the right, I have it burning in a hurricane, is the fragrance Pumpkin Coconut from Caramel Sundays. And that one is actually not being restocked in the August restock, but that fragrance is really nice. And it's funny, I'm actually picking up different notes on it. Pumpkin Coconut, let me say, the fragrance notes are top notes of pumpkin spice, roasted coconut, mid notes of vanilla cream, base note of sea salt, and musky caramel. And it's funny, so I've been burning that candle in my daughter's bedroom a couple of times, and it's in those rooms, I actually smell more of that pumpkin and coconut, like those pumpkin spice notes. And the coconut is not like beachy coconut. I think it lends an element of creaminess to it. But it's funny, out here in the open concept, I've been burning it a lot longer. And the longer that I burn this candle out here in the open concept, I'm getting more of that caramel note coming through with the pumpkin spice and the toasted coconut. If they bring that fragrance back, you guys, I would actually highly recommend it. It's a little bit different take. Do I see myself repurchasing it? No. But I am enjoying it quite a bit. It's just a little bit more unique. Again, perfect for this time of year. And then the fragrance that I'm burning in my daughter's bedroom right now is the Pumpkin Banana Muffin from Country Candle. It's only in a 2-wick. Now, I will tell you guys that the first couple of burns on that candle have been pretty weak for me. However, this morning when I walked into that bedroom, now again, it's a smaller bedroom. I don't have it in a hurricane, and I can smell it pretty well throughout that room. It's not throwing outside of it. So I would say in the medium-sized vessel right now, it's still probably, I would give it about like a 5 to a 6 in terms of strength and throw. But that's a great fragrance. It's again, another nice one for this time of year. I do smell banana, some pumpkin in there. It's definitely a nice gourmand fragrance. So that's what I'm burning in there. And then in my bedroom right now, I am burning Fall Gathering from Caramel Sundays. That one is going to be restocked in the 2-wick. I will have some post-burn reviews on that. Fall Gathering has top notes of peach, spice, and warmth, mid notes of berries, cinnamon, base note of clove and spice. And the thing I will tell you about that fragrance, that's a really nice one. The fruit notes in there are definitely lending like some sweetness, almost like a kind of like a nectar type of quality to it. There's like a nectar quality mixed with a little bit of warm spices. It's a really nice fragrance. It's not as spicy as, say, the autumn jam, or nowhere near like Coffin Cake or Toasted Pumpkin Crunch, but it's a really nice fragrance. I will say strength and throw on that one is a little bit less than what I'm experiencing with the Coffin Cake. Strength and throw on that one right now for me is anywhere between a 6 and a 7, but it's still definitely noticeable in a bedroom. It's a great complementary fragrance. So those are the fragrances that I'm currently burning. And then let's go ahead and talk about a Snif candle. This is one, you guys, that I talked about that I recently purchased off of the Snif website. This is the fragrance Heal the Way. Now, you guys know I am a huge fan of this fragrance in the Eau de Toilette. Get your hands on it, you guys. They do sell it at Ulta now. This fragrance was, I think I've bought 4 bottles of that perfume, and I just discovered it a year ago. You know why? It is my most complimented fragrance in my collection. Everybody, like every time I wear it, people are like, what are you wearing? That smells so good. Now let's see if I can get the lid off here. I can. This has like a, it's the vanilla note that you would find in their Extra Whip body spray. But there's a little bit of the there's Palo Santo listed as a fragrance note here, but this is not a like smoky, woody, resinous Palo Santo note. I know yesterday I did my review on Kringle Candle's Mummy Marshmallow, and I said that even though it's not listed in there, the way that those notes come together, it reminds me a little bit of Bath & Body Works Palo Santo Vanilla, and Palo Santo kind of has typically kind of like a smoky, resinous type of vibe going on with it. But that's a very, very much in the background here. There's some pistachio in this fragrance. Oh, it's just beautiful. Now, this candle is sold on the Snif website, and it is pretty pricey, you guys. I think that this is only 8.5 ounces of wax. There are 2 wicks in here. But I actually was not expecting a whole lot out of this candle because it is pretty small. I will tell you guys, I put this in a hurricane out here in my open concept, and I was really, really surprised by the strength and throw I got on this in a hurricane. It was a solid 8. Like, I really was not expecting big things. I thought, okay, I'll burn this in the bedroom. It'll be a bedroom candle just based off of the size. No, this baby throws in a hurricane. Now, I haven't put it out here outside of a hurricane. My guess is that usually, for me personally, my experience with hurricanes is that it usually oomps up or like bumps up the strength and throw by about like 2 notches. So my guess is that this without a hurricane might be somewhere like more of like a high medium performer. But I really love this fragrance. These are more expensive. I think this retails for like $46. Fun tip or fun fact, if you write a review on the Snif website or like look in your email inbox, they will oftentimes send an offer where they will give you a 25% off coupon if you submit a review for any of their fragrances. So that's how I was able to purchase this. I did get 25% off of it, but really, really good fragrance. So I will make sure that I do a dedicated post-burn review on this one. That'll probably come up in a couple of weeks for you guys, but wanted to give you guys some thoughts just in case that has ever been on your radar. And a candle that I actually like pairing that Snif Heal Away with, I would recommend if you are wanting to purchase the Mummy Marshmallow from Kringle for the Halloween drop this week, that if you happen to have that Snif Heal Away, that's a great pairing. But another candle that I think a lot of you guys might already have in your collection is Kringle Candles Warm and Toasty. Now, this is in a 3-wick format. I purchased this, I want to say maybe after Christmas last year when they had, one of their blowout sales. We have fragrance notes of cedar, smoke, sweet, marshmallow, amber, and sugar. And I know a lot of people might want to know, what are the differences between this and Mummy Marshmallow? I'm going to tell you, to my nose, this is sweeter and warmer than Mummy Marshmallow. This fragrance, there's an amber note in there. The marshmallow note, I feel like, is more present, and it's definitely that sweet marshmallow. This is just very warm. It's not as smoky, I would say. To my nose, it's not. This is just like kind of like a warm, ambery, gooey marshmallow type of fragrance with a slight hint of smoke, not a ton. Whereas Mummy Marshmallow definitely has kind of like a resinous Palo Santo smoky vibe. The marshmallow note is more subdued in the background. It's present, but it's not super, super strong. And if you caught that review, and I also just said, to me, it bears a lot of similarities to Bath & Body Works Palo Santo Vanilla. So I feel like they're very, very different fragrances, just in case you're wanting to know. If you haven't seen that dedicated review yet, those are my thoughts. But this fragrance is just such a staple. I know that once I finish this one in the 4-wick or in the 3-wick, I would plan to purchase this fragrance in the 4-wick because it's just such a good, I would say, fall and winter fragrance. I like burning this candle in the evening. Just a really, really nice fragrance. And then let's see, what else do I have here? Another Kringle candle that I have been burning. I only brought this out a couple of mornings this week, but this is one that's been around for 2 years now, I believe. I think this was part of the 2023 lineup. This is the fragrance Pumpkin Waffles. We have fragrance notes of pumpkin spice, toasted waffles, brown sugar, cinnamon, maple syrup, creamy butter, warm woods accord, amber vanilla accord. And this fragrance, to me, this is Kringle's take on pumpkin pecan waffles. This to me is more, It's not as cloying, I would say, as pumpkin pecan waffles. I feel like it's just a little bit better balanced. That's my opinion. But if you like that fragrance, I feel like this one isn't as strong on the maple note. The maple note is a little bit more toned down. I think there is the nuttiness of pecans in here. You get the pumpkin. This is a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. Again, strength and throw on this one is pretty good. Also, I did notice this week that Kringle uploaded to their website a bunch of 4 wicks in the fall fragrances. So if you've been holding out, if you've got some favorite fall fragrances, they are now, there's quite a few that are now available in 4 wick formats on the Kringle website. I know a lot of people were saying, where is pumpkin waffles in the 4 wick? Because that's really good. I will tell you that for me, with a lot of the Kringle candles, especially if they are staple fragrances for me, moving forward, my plan is to purchase those staples in 4 wicks just because I know that I love those fragrances like the Warm and Toasty. I could see myself purchasing this in a 4 wick. This would be a staple in my home every fall. It's just so yummy and delicious. Good strength and throw so far on it. I'll make sure that I do a dedicated post-burn review eventually on that one, but ooh, that is a goodie. Now, the fragrance that I actually like pairing with that pumpkin waffles is not available at Caramel Sundays anymore. I hope that they bring this back. This is the fragrance Pecan Marshmallow. Now, I actually don't have the fragrance notes in front of me, but this Caramel Sundays does like nutty notes really, really well. You guys know I've raved about their pistachio note, but the way that they do pecan, they had like a pecan pudding candle a couple of months ago that I loved. I had it in a 2-wick format and it was really good. This to me, I'm really, really enjoying too. This is a nice pecan with like kind of that gooey marshmallow base. It's kind of a vanilla, vanilla type of fragrance, little bit of extra sweetness and gooiness to it. But the pecan note just really, really stands out there. So of course, this is an excellent pairing with the pumpkin waffles. I will say that this one took a couple of goes to like really, really get going, but now strength and throw on this one is about an 8 for me. You guys know this 4-wick format from Caramel Sundays is my preferred format for the open concept areas of my home. But ooh, this is really good, and I've loved pairing it with the pumpkin waffles. And then the last candle that I wanted to talk about today is also another Caramel Sundays candle. This is going to be returning in their 2-wick format. It is the fragrance Dad's Pumpkin Pie. Dad's Pumpkin Pie has top notes of ginger, allspice, and cinnamon, mid notes of pumpkin, brown sugar, and nutmeg, base note of clove, molasses, and vanilla. And I'm going to tell you guys, this candle I did mention in my Caramel Sundays review, and I still stand by this. This is a very authentic pumpkin pie fragrance, but it's a little bit different twist on pumpkin pie because a lot of pumpkin pie fragrances that I have had in the past, they focus very much on the spice element of pumpkin pie. Some of them nail the crust note pretty well. I do love, I feel like the pumpkin vanilla creme at Bath & Body Works, it used to be the packaged as pumpkin pie, and then they brought it out. That's a great fragrance. I love that scent a lot. But that one has a little bit more of like a spice note, and their crust note, I feel like almost doesn't come across as like flaky, buttery crust. It's more of like a graham cracker crust to my nose. Whereas this one, this is a very savory fragrance. It's not too spicy. So if you see those top notes of like ginger, allspice, and cinnamon, it's a very soft spice that I smell in this. What I get more so is like that, it's almost like I make our pie dough, out of like Crisco and flour and water. And then it smells like the bakery crust. This smells like a pie is baking in the oven, but it's not overly spicy. It's almost like when you take the pumpkin pie out of the oven and the pumpkin is very warm still. That's what I smell in this. It's a very savory pumpkin pie fragrance. It's probably one of the most authentic and also unique pumpkin pie fragrances that I've ever smelled. I haven't had a pumpkin pie candle in my collection that smells like this before. I'm really enjoying it. It pairs nicely with a lot of other fragrances. I think what's setting it apart in a weird way is probably that molasses note in the base note. It doesn't come across too brown sugary. It's not an overly sweet pumpkin pie fragrance. And I think that might take some people off guard. It's a very savory, crust heavy pumpkin pie fragrance, but I've been really enjoying it. Strength and throw is also pretty good on this one so far. This one is about an 8 in terms of strength and throw, but again, it is in the 4-wick. But I will have some dedicated reviews coming up for you guys, not this week on these caramel sundaes, but the following week. So I kept my my candle chat a little bit shorter this week, mainly because, like I said, I kind of wanted to spotlight and highlight some of the candles that I haven't been, reviewing, and yeah, just lots of fun stuff here. And I do just want to let you guys know I've got a lot. Oh my goodness. I can't give any spoilers yet, but I'm just gonna throw this out here real quick. I did get information about the part 2 launch at for Kringle Halloween. I know we're gonna get through part 1, but all I'm gonna say is I think people are going to go wild for the second launch. I think a lot of people are going to be very, very, very happy. Like, I'm not even the Halloween girl, and I'm happy with what I've seen so far from what's coming in the second part. So can't give you guys any details or dates or anything on that yet, but that'll be coming within the next couple of weeks. You guys will be getting more information about that, but you guys are going to be, I think a lot of people are going to be very, very happy with that. So again, let me know in the comment section down below if you have burned any of these candles, if any of these are currently in your collection. Are you gearing up to be spending a lot of money heading into the month of August with all of these fall and Halloween candles? I would be curious to know. I do hope to have a little bit of a HOMEWORX haul coming up for you guys tomorrow. I know, I feel like they've kind of been like, I had a message this week, and it was funny. Somebody was saying, like, what's going on at the HOMEWORX website? I feel like there's not a whole lot on there. At the time that I'm filming this, I've seen a couple of fall candles pop up on the HOMEWORX website, but none of them are new. I haven't heard about anything new. I think that their focus really recently has been Christmas in July with QVC, and I am noticing that a lot of their new candles are kind of in partnership with QVC, so I don't really know what's going on over on their website, but regardless, I have a little bit of a small haul. It's a combination of some Christmas in July candles as well as something that I just recently ordered from the website. So if you don't want to miss out on that or of my reviews or anything like that, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. I do want to say thank you so very, very much for spending your time here with me today. And until my next one, I hope you all go out and have a very blessed day. Bye.